Why am I still doing this? Why? I mean, my videos usually get between 30 and 50 views by the time I post another one. So, there you go. Well, in short, I've been having, well, I've been having a series of dreams that have been going on for the past couple of years, ever since I started taking the medication clozapine. And even before that, but after I started taking the medication clozapine, I started having more vivid dreams. And my dreamscape, sometimes I visit the same place in my dreams multiple times on multiple different occasions. Like, there's locations in my dreams that I return to on a continuous basis. Like, I have there's just this Castlevania, Metroidvania style map of my headspace that my soul wanders when I dream. And this headspace has monsters in some parts. Some parts are full of monsters. Some parts are tight crawl spaces. Other parts are horrifyingly dark, Like, some of these, oh God, I just thought about. Even thinking about these places while I'm awake gives me a wave of whoa, like there's this one space in my dreams. I call it the Golem Tunnel because it's a tunnel. You're in this room and you're looking at a tunnel, and on the end of that tunnel is the Golem. Gollum, from The Hobbit, And if you go down that tunnel, you will go to the Golem Zone, the Monster Zone. It's like it's like it's a very hard feeling to describe, like existentially dreaded, like trypophobia kind of thing. The fear of all those miniature holes. That's the kind of feeling that you get when you look at the Golem Zone. And then there's also the crawl spaces, and there's I call it the Expanse. And I return to these places at different times. Different nights. I return to the same places. I don't recognize that they're the same. Well, I feel that they're oddly familiar while I'm dreaming, and when I wake up, I remember this dream, and I think, I've been there before. I've been there several times before. Well, there was this one time that I was able to stay awake while entering the dream world. And I saw some very interesting things. For one, I saw the dream janitors. These are janitors that clean people's heads while they're dreaming. And the sad thing is that I was watching this dream janitor do his work, and I was like, can I try that? And the dream janitor was like, sure, it's your head. And so I tried doing what he was doing and scraping paint off of a little triangle thing, and I accidentally dug too deep. And that scar is still there. I don't know what it caused, but I have a feeling that some of my quirkiness is due to the fact that I tried to take on the job of the dream janitor and didn't do a very good job. So, dream janitors, they clean your head while you're asleep. I don't know if they're spiritual beings or if they're just manifestations of your personality and consciousness while you're asleep. I honestly can't tell you, but oh my gosh, dreams. One time I had a dream about the moaning whale of Scotland, okay? So there's this organ. There's this organ, double entendre. It literally is an organ that is made out of like flesh. So it's like an organ in two senses of the word. And what this organ does is it plays the moaning wail of Scotland that when it is heard causes absolute terror inside the minds of people who hear it. The thing is that for some odd reason, I was immune to the moaning wail of Scotland. Like, when the moaning wail played, I watched all these other people go, ah! And I was like, what are you guys hearing? I just hear the music, Also, I've noticed that my dreams now have other characters in them. Not like actual physical presences. I sense them. I sense them near me. I sense them around me. My dreams travel a trajectory, like they're actually a storyline. Dream world, it's very weird. I don't know how it works. All I know is that it's complex and it's very, very emotionally interesting. So also, I meditate a lot. If you don't know exactly how meditation works, I call it active meditation, because you're not just sitting there and breathing and not thinking of anything. What you're doing is you're diving into your own body. When I meditate, I dive into my own body and release tensions. I like say, okay, there's a tension here, there's a tension here, there's a tension here, and I release them. I open my mind and I open my body. And the thing that this causes you to do is it actually causes you, like you have an intellectual, this kind of meditation I call active meditation, like I said before. It can actually change how you think about things, how you feel about things. If you go deep enough into your own self, you can really change how you view the world, how you view other people, how you view ideas. Like, the further I go, the more open my mind is to various schools of thought, basically. And that's what active meditation does. Active meditation literally causes you to expel the pre-held notions that you had before, and you can enter blissful states under this state of meditation. Yeah, so here's something. My go-to psychiatrist, my go-to theory of the mind is called voice therapy, the system of voices. So, you know how you talk to yourself, right? Everyone talks to themselves inside their own head. If you don't, then please let me know, because that is weird. I mean, some people can't see things inside their own head, but most people, I think, talk to themselves inside their own head using the word I. And a lot of times they criticize themselves using the word I. So they think to themselves, oh, I'm such a loser. I'm not worth anything. Well, this psychiatrist, Dr. Firestone, came up with the idea that these thoughts, these verbalized attacks against your own self, are not actually coming from yourself. They're coming from an imposed socialization given to you by your parents. So, a parent's defense mechanisms are transferred to their kid. And the thing is that whenever you hear the word I in your own head, be very careful, because that is probably your socialization, your externalized, internalized, fractured mind hitting itself. And so how you bring these thoughts out is, instead of saying I to yourself, you say you to yourself. So like every time you're about to think I'm an idiot, you think you're an idiot inside your own head. And so a good thing to do would actually be to find someone who you're very comfortable with, who you're safe with, and to speak these vocalizations out loud using the word your instead of I, or you instead of I. And very soon you will feel like a peeling of an onion, that layer of yourself separating from your mind and becoming a totally different entity. And so the best thing to do is to just keep saying like if you have the thought, I am an imbecile, or I am a moron for doing this, you say, no. Think you're a moron, but you're pointing it at yourself. And what it does is it separates that from your actual self so that you can excise it. You can talk back to the voice. You can say, I'm not a moron. I know I'm not a moron because of what I have achieved. Or I just know I'm not a moron because I have good self-esteem now. And so you separate these wordings in your head from your body. And I did all that a long time ago. So I actually don't have self-criticisms. Like, I know this may sound like a weird thing to claim, but it's been a long time since I last criticized, well, since I last emotionally criticized myself. I can intellectually look at what I'm doing and decide that I'm not doing the best job, but the last time I emotionally criticized myself was years ago, because I excised all those feelings, all those integrated attack mechanisms that attack yourself. And here's a good exercise for you to do. All right? Either be alone or be with someone you trust very much. And then you lay down. What you got to do is you got to lay down on your back, take a deep breath, and go, and whatever comes to mind, say it. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be cussing. It can be sexual. It can be anything. Like I said, you either have to be alone or with someone you trust very much. And you say, ooh, you just let your voice go like this. And whatever comes to your lips, you say that. You say whatever it is that comes to your lips. A lot of times people will yell for their mommy or they will cuss very loudly. You don't know what'll come out of your mouth when you're doing this therapeutic technique. You don't know what'll come out of your mouth. And what happens is this technique draws all of your insecurities, all of your defense mechanisms go up, they well up in your stomach and they come out of your mouth. And if you're in the right environment, this will allow you to internalize and externalize and understand your own thought processes, your own defense mechanisms, your own childhood. Because all of us are formed during childhood. Like, and all of our ways of relating, how we relate to other people, how we relate to ourselves, how we relate to our significant others and our friends, those are all imprinted on us when we are a kid. It is either A, a copy of our parents, or B, a reaction to our parents. It's one of those two. So most people who have bad parents, they say, I don't want to be anywhere any like my parent at all. And there's two ways this can play out. Number one, you go so far from your original parenting, you go so far away from what your parents did that you go to the opposite side of the pendulum and overcorrect. Or B, you actually externalize what you want to do to your kids onto your partner, and this basically you channel the energy you feel towards your children toward your partner, and your partner acts out those feelings of yours. Your partner is your vicarious punishment. That's why you hear the phrase, you're not going to like it when your dad hears about this or your mom hears about this. Like, so what happens is you do something your parents don't like, and instead of your mom punishing you, your mom says, I'm going to tell your dad. That is maladaptive behavior. What they are doing is they are offloading the responsibility. They can feel like they didn't hurt you because they weren't the ones who actually punished you for whatever it is. It could be worthy or it could, probably not worthy of whatever punishment. So here's one of my theories. In 90% of cases, the children's behavior is a direct reflection of their parents' upbringing. So if a child acts out, it doesn't mean that they aren't being punished enough. It means that their parents have not... It's basically... Well, here's the thing. Hitting your kids or punishing your kids for doing something wrong usually doesn't work. At best, what it does is it pushes those behaviors underground. So here's what happens. If your kid legitimately screws up due to a bad decision, you don't yell at them. You don't punish them with a spanking or a whooping. You sit down, you face them, and you say, what did you do? Why did you do that? Why is it wrong? Let me help you fix this. Because your job as a parent is to make sure that they're okay, that they're going to grow up right. And people's ideas of growing up right may be different in some communities, but my idea of growing up right is growing up learning A, not to fear punishment, and B, to be a nice and respectful person. But because here's the thing. If you punish your kids for trivial offenses, if you over punish I was over punished as a kid. I was like, the worst part of a punishment isn't the actual act, it's the feeling of separation from the caregiver that you experience while you're being punished. Because if they don't have any mercy for you, you learn to internalize self-hatred. Because a child cannot, children cannot conceive of the fact that their parents are not perfect. So if a kid is told that they are bad for a specific reason, then they will internalize that and think that they're bad for that reason. Like, even a single snide comment by a parent can be devastating for a child's self-esteem and character growth. So, here's the thing. As a man, being tough is not, it's a societal expectation that should not be upheld. I think men need to be more caring, more caring. Well, I guess that's it. That doesn't need any qualifications, does it? Well, here's the thing. I'll give you a caveat. I haven't been in a romantic relationship for 10 years now. So, I'm not entirely certain how any of my theories on this relationship theories will affect an actual growth pattern. You know, I really can't tell you whether or not the theories I have, if put into place, will result in a good relationship or a good kid. But as I heard someone once say, if you had to take a test to be a parent, some of you would flunk. But you don't have to take a test to be a parent. And I'll leave this off with what I call the real inequality that came from slavery. So, when someone is treated poorly, they internalize that abuse and externalize it against people who are lower than them or defenseless. And so my theory, this may be controversial, but my theory is that the biggest bad legacy surrounding slavery and black people in general is the fact that they have emotional trauma that has been transmitted through generations. So I believe that more than anything else, more than financial, more than social, I believe that the emotional trauma of slavery, of being captured from your home, taken across the ocean on a slave ship, forced to work until you're dead, that translated into a harsh emotional environment. And the waves of that abuse are being transmitted generation to generation to generation through time. And I think it'll take a lot of work before this generational emotional trauma can be worked through. And I think that's the biggest. I mean, of course there are social and economic reasons why former slaves are, in a bad position today, many of them. But I believe one of the biggest contributors to that fact is the emotional trauma that has been transmitted from father to son, from father to son, from mother to daughter, mother to daughter. And I think we should focus more on the emotional impact of racism instead of the social impact or the economic impact. I think if we soften our hearts and realize that emotion can play a large part in the success of an individual, we can realize that the best way to improve the lot of other people is to improve their inner lives. And that's my thesis. And I think that's enough for today. I'll see you guys later.